whereas everyone is trying their efforts to improve on road safety, to reduce on the crashes that are happening. But incidentally, the trend shows that accidents are increasing. So either we need to redesign our strategy or to intensify them. But I'm sure we are doing well. Both media, everyone in their respective capacity is doing what it takes to calm down this, because crashes don't eliminate anyone. Me and you, we are potential candidates for it, God forbid, if we did wrong things. And as this show goes on, I'm sure we are going to discuss those ones, but particularly the report that you're talking about that I shared with you is just a 1 week report. I don't want us to look at the whole year, because those reports are there, but let's focus on just 1 week, and then we would appreciate whether we have this animal in house or not. According to Uganda Police Force, there is a report they released on 4th March. It shows the accidents, the crashes that they registered in a period of from 25th Feb to 30th March 2024, and that is just 1 week. It indicates that 77 died. We call those fatals. It also indicates that 399 sustained injuries. Now, in just a space of 7 days, surely, having 77 people dead and 399, sustaining injuries is a big problem the country is facing. And then I want to share with you that these 77 that died, the number could have increased. When you look at 399 who sustained injuries, at times our systems, we don't follow up.
Okay.
So even in the 399 that sustained injuries, there is possibility that more people with time, unfortunately, did not make it. So I want to assume that these 77 who died, that the numbers kept going high if we did a proper follow-up. And this 399, let's assume God is on their side, they are not dead, but they sustained injuries. Most of these people are the breadwinners, Where have they left their families, or how are their families behaving or living now? Themselves. Look at, I'm sure most of us have gone to hospitals. If you happen, once in a while I do it, I go to Mulago, where these accident victims are. When you enter that ward and see what happens and see the injuries that these people that our own people are sustaining, most of them are left in that state that is, allow me to use the word useless, economically. That now you're a burden to your family, and yet you are the breadwinner of that family. So that goes back to the government, you have to, the medical that they are giving you, all that is stress. And this stress, I'm not saying we can eliminate it completely, but I'm saying that we can reduce on it if we acted in a proper manner. And the same report goes ahead and shows two major causes of these accidents, and one of them being careless overtaking. Careless overtaking is something that we know it is the major cause, but we keep ignoring it, road users or drivers, to be specific. I'm not sure if all of us went to the driving schools, but in case you did not, please find the time, sit down, ask your friend, this road marking is wrong overtaking, what does it mean? We can learn, and we can reduce on these accidents that are happening out of this careless overtaking. Careless overtaking means you're passing, in front of you is a vehicle, and you want to pass it and go in front of it, right? In a layman's language. So what happens when you see Sarah in front of you, she's driving, and you're behind, and you feel like I'm slow, or you feel you want to, you trust your car, then there is that tendency of you just coming, because in Uganda we keep left drivers, we keep left. So there is that time when you come on the right to overtake Sarah, who was a problem, or who was driving slowly, you come on the right to overtake. So most times that decision, we recklessly take it, or we don't think about it properly. Look at these areas where we are overtaking from. Areas in a curve, honestly speaking, you're not seeing what is coming in front of you. And because Sarah has driven, according to you, at a low speed, you decide to risk yourself and your car occupants to overtake in that curve, to overtake in that corner. And the vehicle that is now coming opposite you, it's you who has caused that accident. Somehow you find now you're head on because you overtook, you tried to pass at a wrong place, at a wrong point. We also have points like people, the drivers wanting to overtake maybe at a hill. We want to use the easiest language that everyone can understand. If it is on top of a hill, same story applies, that on top of the hill, you're not able to see what is coming from opposite side. So at the hills, at the top of the hill, please don't overtake. It's always short time. Let's be patient. It's always limited time that you endure this driver whom you think is a slow driver. And then when you get proper visibility, as long as you can see a kilometer on opposite side, that there is nothing coming up, the road is very clear for you, and then you do the right thing. You indicate, you warn people that your intention of turning, and then overturn and go back to your left lane. So those are among the issues that come with this, the human behind those machines that we control. The decisions we are making, we need to think about them before making them. It's not a matter of saying she's slow, I need to pass her and go. No. You're driving yourself. Perhaps in that car you have occupants, but also there are other road users on that particular road where you are. And if you make one silly mistake or reckless mistake, you're bound to cause these 77 people who died in just 1 week. And the pain is so much.
I understand you dwell around Kampala. We have a problem of either taxi drivers or boda people. How are these people originated? Because when you talk of overtaking, for them they overtake anywhere they want and any sides actually. Some of them do even overtake from the left side. Left. Yes.
That is very right. I've observed that. But like I've said, I attribute it to human, to the behavior. I don't know that this culture, how we allowed it to crop up. And it's actually at times it's becoming out of hand when you see how border industry operate in Kampala and in other busy cities. It calls for a correction of joint effort. We can't leave it to one person to handle. You can't leave it to Uganda Police Force to enforce it. I think it's a collaboration of all stakeholders involved, right away from perhaps how they get their permits or even how these motorcycles reach here. But I trust my other stakeholders who are coordinating these responsibilities. We've seen them come on board. We've seen them, holding those borders at ransom, like, why are you not in your helmet, for example? Why are you carrying timber? Why are you carrying this irons, this building iron, and they go, destroying the road? We've seen that. We've seen borders doing some of them. So it's some of them, by the way. It could be a small fraction, but what you see, it overshadows the other bit of it that is better or that is good. So we are here urging, these borders at times they also belong to some of us. So if you buy that border, your role is to make money. But you can only make money if you've trained that person you're going to trust your border with. Please take him through. Tell him, do you know what this means? Do you know the road markings? Do you know you shouldn't be carrying two people, for example, on a border? And put those stringent, measures. If we do that at individual basis, then we'll be helping the system that is in place to achieve the sanity in the border industry. Equally in the tax industry. Tax people, surely, but I recommend, I've always seen Uganda Police Force that is responsible for enforcement, really trying to enforce sanity on our road network. If they get you driving on what they call kataka, then they will deal with you. And if we do that, let's increase our our efforts there. So that, and I've also seen people are now, I think soon will come down these crashes, because everyone now is taking it as a responsibility, as an individual responsibility. You've seen on social media a vehicle belonging to a certain entity, you know, with those number plates that we all know about, you know, pushing people away, and people have said, you have no right to push me away. And indeed, no one has more rights than the other when it comes to this road usage, apart from a few that we know that have right of way, and they are very few. So these other people who just come hooting with doing everything, then
The
making
sirens.
noise, yes. People, the issue here, I would say it's poor planning. I urge every Ugandan that please, if you know you have a journey or a trip to make, plan your journeys very well in advance. For example, now we are in this Easter season. Perhaps some of us would want to go and celebrate it with our people in the, you know, in our upcountry homes or elsewhere. Don't wait until the last hour. Plan well. Know if your journey is going to take you 3 hours, then I need to set off from this time. But if you know that your journey will take you 5 hours, and then you want to catch up with church on Sunday or Monday, and then you leave Kampala at 7, you want to be, say, in Mbarara or in Uguru by 9 to catch up with church service, trust me, you will drive reckless.
How about
Because that
those?
is-
How
yes.
about those that say they trust their vehicles?
That's also another and we have that category, and there are many. How do you trust that car? One, you're not a manufacturer. Even manufacturers put a disclaimer, by the way, if you read those details in detail. So please, even if you're driving the latest car, and actually to me, if you gave me the new vehicle to this week, and I've been having, say, my old vehicle that I know its behavior, and he told me drive now, go on highway for a long distance, it is better for me to go with this old one, because at least I know how it behaves, than, you know, you just picked your new car, your Mpenko, no, whatever it is the other day, and you want to subject it to this highway. You don't know its behavior. So please, vehicles, never trust a vehicle. It's a machine. Look, even our human body get tired. How about a machine, guys? So the machine is bound to fail you at any time. And therefore, you should think about that when you're behind it. Just know that any time this machine can decide to misbehave. So what should you do? You can only save the situation if you're doing the right thing. If your speeds are not excessive. This is another issue, excessive speeding.
Okay.
And because, you know, you think you trust your machine. So please, even if you trust your machine, be at a safe speed, so that you give a room. If a vehicle, if that powerful vehicle of yours disappointed you, you have a room to hold it and negotiate with it. And perhaps a crash that should have been fatal turns out to be minor or just serious. And by doing that, you'll be safe.
Okay.
But this recklessness of saying, may I trust my car is a new one, and I can drive at the speed I so wish, it is dangerous. The problem is you will not die alone, you will kill people that you meet along the road environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
on the road,
Yeah.
where and how is someone supposed to overtake? Are there specific signages?
Yes. When we are constructing roads, we put signs.
Okay.
These signs, we also put road markings. And road markings and signs, this is the only way for you to communicate with the road you're on. Because if you're not able to understand that different marking that is by your side, then I think how we are reaching, I've seen people using Mukama na Ayamba, you know, like you reach your destination and so I've reached, and you do not understand how. If someone asks you, how did you reach this side?
I don't
Trust me, someone will not know. If you ask him, did you look at one point, did you keep your eyes on the road where you are? What road marking was driving you, and how did you operate there? someone will clearly tell you, actually, I did not even pay attention to that. The road signs that we put, please pay attention to them and get to know what they mean. Actually, why we are out here and with you, I know you're doing it even when we are not here, masses out there don't understand what they mean. I think it's a big problem. So that's why we are asking everyone, if you get a chance of knowing what they mean, talk to that driver in a taxi you're seated next to. You know, in a polite way. In a polite way, you don't need to scare him or to prove to him that he doesn't know. Just ask him, by the way, do you understand what this means? So for that, there are some road markings being projected on the screen. Particularly, I can take you through. I don't know if it has stopped. We can start discussing each.
Okay, yeah. Like that one?
Like that one. It is vertical. I would prefer it if it is horizontal. But nevertheless, let's discuss that. The very first one, I don't know, I hope the viewers are able to see.
Yeah, sure.
I hope the font is not small. The very first one is just one solid line in the middle of the road. You know,
yes.
that solid line, we call it dividing lane. You know, one, it is indicating, it is dividing this big highway.
Okay.
That people from whatever direction you're in, stay in your lane. Don't step on that yellow line. Because if you're from, say, Kampala, you should stay on the left. Even the other opposite side should keep on the left. So there is no, at one point, we should see a vehicle trying to cross this yellow line here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it means. But also maybe allow me to first put a disclaimer. Why are we using yellow? I've received this more often, you know, whenever I'm doing this sensitization. And with all due respect, I respect people who ask me that. They are very right. Yellow color, as they will see, we use it not because of our wish. It is an international standard. Okay. And particularly the simple reason behind it is at night or even during daytime it reflects.
Oh yes.
If you used any other color, you may not get that visibility. You know, you may need more enhanced light for you to see something like another color. But yellow color and white color, with the surface of our road network that is always black or dark, when you put on yellow or white, that means it is more reflective. So basically, a disclaimer there, we are not using yellow color for any other reason. We can go back to the signs and I proceed. Okay. Let's go to that picture number 2. Number 2, we are seeing double lines, double continuous lines. Yes. And at that point, we are informing you, the driver basically, that either direction you're facing, that point is dangerous. We are emphasizing that point, do not overtake, do not cross. Okay. Those two lines going, whether you met Sarah who was driving slowly and she's annoying you, be patient. Don't get annoyed. And if you get annoyed, you will think about overtaking or passing her and going back. At that point, those are the areas I told you. When engineers are marking these roads, they have many in consideration. They look at your visibility. Are you able to see what is coming in front of you? Opposite traffic? No. If you're not able to see, then you'll find that road marking prohibiting you from what most of us know, overtaking. Okay. And either way, all drivers on that side, no one should overtake. No vehicle should pass the other at that point. It's not always a wrong section. People, let's be patient. You only need to be with this driver that is slow, you're calling slow. Maybe he's even heavy, he's carrying heavier road than you. And then you can, when you proceed ahead, you'll find the road marking has changed, and therefore you can overtake and go back to the left.
So even when there is no vehicle there,
yes.
If I'm only seeing this person I want to overtake with that marking, and the road seems to be clear, I'm not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to at that point. Okay. When you meet those double continuous lanes, please don't think about crossing or don't think about overtaking. It is very dangerous. Your visibility is very limited there. And from today, when we are on our road network, I want us to start paying attention. We have some newly constructed roads where our road markings are very clear. But also I can cite out for you some roads that we all know. Most of us know, maybe people from Eastern, if you looked at, say, Kapchorwa Swamp, the newly constructed road. Because of their terrain, it's mountainous, it's a beautiful scenery, but because of that, you find the road is in curves, so you'll find most of the road marking in Kapchorwa Swamp is that one we've just discussed. Double lines in the middle of the road. Also, maybe Western, if you manage to visit Kabarek Soro, because the terrain is not so much different from Kapchorwa Swamp, you will meet the same. So these road markings, we are not saying that you will find them on every road network. We will give you what is appropriate according to the nature of your land. Yeah, there were more. We could look at more and maybe elaborate more. Okay, that's also fine. When you come to the third one, it is broken dividing lane. In the middle of the road, you find there is one broken. It's yellow broken, Now, at that point, as a driver, they are telling you that for you, both drivers at that point, you have clear visibility. And this you will find it in areas of the flat terrain, like Nakasongola. If you're on Nakasongola Road, it's flat, nice. So engineers will tell you at this point we shouldn't waste more of your time. We shouldn't hold you for no good reason. At this point, if there is this heavy loaded vehicle that is moving at 10 kilometers per hour, and you see that it is delaying you, you have your other machine you told me about. What you can do, scan in the opposite direction, because you should, at that point, you should be able to see a kilometer or plus that in front it is clear for me. Very clear. There is no any vehicle. I've not seen anyone intending to cross. I've not seen a kid intending there. You scan the environment and say it is safe for me to do so. And if it is safe for me to do so, do the right thing. Indicate, ensure that behind there is no any other vehicle that has already started overtaking. Indicate, inform this slow moving vehicle that your intentions of overtaking, and at that point you can overtake, from the right, pass this slow moving vehicle, slightly ahead, kind of indicate on the left and go back to the left. Because in Uganda, remember, we keep left. There's no any time you should overtake and keep right. Because right is not your lane. Right is bringing the people opposite you. So please indicate, overtake at a right time. When you see there is some gap between the two of you, go back to your lane. And allow me to say that please pay attention. We are not telling you to overtake at that point. We are telling you overtake when it is safe for you to do so. So this I've seen at times enforcement, they wait for you, you overtake at that point, and they stop you. So you say, but the road marking allows me to overtake. But then they will ask you, did you see those kids who are intending to cross? Did you see that border that was already on the wall for you, only looking for the vehicle? So they will hold you there, and they are right, because it wasn't safe for you to overtake, and you made that decision of doing it. So and to me, this is outside the standards now, but the little exposure in our country that I've had, I think it is hard to overtake in this country of ours. Given the nature of our road network, not that the roads are bad, but the mixture that we have. Trust me, you will not drive with the borders that we have, with the schools that are mushrooming along the road network. At one point, there is a kid who is crossing. At one point, there is a border who is crossing. Thank you. Cows. I'm sure. Cows. The way you just leave the cows, they are meandering here and there. So to me, as a person, my advice to you is, whether the road marking allows you to overtake or not, have that in mind, that the environment we are operating in is not conducive for overtaking. Yeah, there was another one. Yeah, another one is we have two. One is broken, another one is continuous. So in the middle again of our road network, somewhere you'll find there are two, broken and continuous. What does it tell you as a driver here? As a driver, I would advise that at this point, look out for the nearest line near you. Look out for the lane nearest you. Okay. If you're on your left, because Uganda will keep left, right? So when we keep left, the next one near you is broken. That's the lanes that should drive you. Okay. So if the one near you is broken, like I discussed earlier, at that point for you, you have proper visibility. Okay. And if you see that ahead is safe for you and there is an obstacle right in front of you, you can indicate properly, overtake, cross from the wrong lane, then go back to the left. Okay. If now I'm opposite, and my next road marking is this solid one, continuous. At that point for you, you're facing in the opposite direction, definitely. At that point for you, your visibility is impaired, is not proper. That's why I said you find for you you're entering a curve. But this one opposite you, for him, he was entering a straight stretch, you know. So if the one near you is this continuous, one single continuous yellow line, at that point, don't overtake, don't cross. Be patient, wait for that vehicle in front of you that is slowly, and you will move through. Equally, I think I explained, if the other one is broken, you can do what? If it is safe for you to do so, and you scan the environment and it's favoring, you can overtake and go back to the left. Okay. Yeah, that's how we should operate ourselves
that one I'm interested in knowing.
This last one, it is interesting. We have it on some road networks, whereas we also, like I said, you will find one or two applicable on particular road. So at times I've gotten people asking me, but how come we don't have these ones? Then you have to explain to them that it varies. You know, like I said, it varies on the environment. If yours is straight, then we shall not, you'll hardly find those double continuous line prohibiting you to overtake. Let's discuss this zigzag lane. Zigzag lane, it's more in towns. In towns, and it warns you if you're driving and you meet zigzag paint, you know, thrown down, it's telling you that ahead is a pedestrian crossing.
So you're supposed to move in a
what we used to call I like that. What we used to call zebra crossing. No, it's not telling you to drive in a zigzag mode. No, it's warning. It's a warning sign that as you advance, if you meet that, expect a pedestrian facility, crossing facility ahead.
And
how should you behave?
Yes, that's what I want to
understand. As a driver, if you meet that, immediately cut your speed. Slow down completely. Then don't overtake at that point, because you're approaching as a pedestrian crossing. Don't overtake, slow down, and be conscious. Look out for this pedestrian. Is there anyone trying to cross? Look out for them. And actually, you know, I think you will also, some people have asked this, that how come a reckless pedestrian, we also have them, definitely, but when he's knocked, all the liability will go to the driver, and yet the pedestrian was the one reckless. You know, he crossed at the wrong point, he was even maybe drunk or what. Yeah, you can argue that case out, but they will put the case on the driver. Why? Because the driver, you have that chance of being trained before you sat in that car. So that chance of being trained, we expect you to look out for these reckless pedestrians and save them. That's why police will say you're in wrong. shouldn't have knocked this and this. But then you say, but he was drunk. But he was, yeah, he was. But that's the reason that the line is you went to a driving school. You understand about defensive driving.
Oh.
So you should look out for these hazards on the road and avoid them.
Okay.
So at that point, zigzag, don't drive in a zigzag mode. Slow down. Don't overtake at that point, because you'll be overtaking at a crossing facility, at a zebra crossing, and all that is dangerous. So basically, if we can understand this, there are 5. If we can understand these 5 road markings and what they mean and what they tell the driver, and we don't need drivers to understand them alone. Me and you, we are always passengers. We are being driven at one point. So if I see a driver, a bus, who is overtaking where the lines are 2 solid lines, I have a right to tell this guy in a polite way that what you've done is wrong. Equally, you may not tell him at that point because he's carrying you, but if I've seen people doing it, if you have a next person where you can report that case, report it and inform the enforcement that this bus I'm in or taxi I'm in is driving careless. He overtook at this point, at that point, and the road marking there was, double lines that prohibited from. And you would see that it is in a corner, it is in a curve, it's at the crest or at, So if we all behaved like that, we would hold each one of us responsible. And if we are responsible, we think these accidents of 77 people dying in just 1 week would see it come down.
But these drivers are always very, very aggressive, mostly like taxi people. Do you think if someone told them, because I remember somehow, somewhere, they were being confronted with a border person, and yes, the taxi person was in wrong. But when people tried to inform him, his comeback was very, very annoying. You're not the one who took me to school, you're not the one, things like that. People are aggressive.
They're aggressive and they are not willing to learn. And that's why I started saying that this one calls for everyone's effort.
Sure.
So if I'm the one who is going to give you money, why should you drive me like Matoke? Surely. Why? You will, yes, but at one point I will talk to you. And trust me, if your driver, if you trusted, because these vehicles don't belong to most of these drivers. Let's leave around the taxi drivers. Let's look at you and me where we work. We have drivers attached to our organizations. So why should you sit in that car? Because these organizations, if you see how we are being reckless on the road network, that empowerment, that entitlement of thinking, I drive someone who sits in this office, in this. If your principal is seated in that car and you're seeing all that rubbish happening, you're seeing him driving, overtaking on wrong lanes, you're seeing him chasing other people, surely for God's sake, and you're the principal seated at the back of that car, surely. What are you doing? What are you telling that driver? So at that point, to me, I would think you're the right person to talk to your driver. Trust me, if you talk to him, these people are there, like me and you are yearning for jobs. If you warned me about something, I will not do it again. But if you also see that perhaps he's doing it out of ignorance, then subject him to a certain training. Call people to talk to them. There are people out there who come and engage with these drivers of ours, reminding them of the do's and the don'ts while on the road. Take that initiative. Why are you surely these drivers carry your life 100%? Your life is in their hand. So why should you trust your life into someone's hand who has never gone for training? And this training shouldn't be one-off. Yes, you hired him or her when she had that driving permit, but like a human being, you need to keep refreshing them, because some of these road markings I discussed with the viewers, some of them are new technology and some of them are going perhaps to be replaced, So you need to keep equipping your staff with the new technology so that they shift accordingly. Otherwise, they will be obsolete. They will be thinking of old mind, and and events will pass them.
Oh, wow.
So it is everyone's responsibility. Let's not say government has allowed boda bodas to come. Well, okay, if it is a mistake, I don't know if it is, but even you, when you're seated on that boda boda, how have you allowed that boda boda man to carry you?
Oh, yes.
You know, he tell you, can I add another person? Surely, and you accept.
And you accept.
Or you even stop a bus or a taxi. In the rural, in the villages where we come from, even here in Kampala, you see the bus, that the taxi is full. Actually, the conductor is seated on a certain lady, you know. But you yourself, you say, I will add myself there. Or then what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it's one way of encouraging this evil mind, you know, of encouraging this bad culture. We are empowering it, and if we don't come out clearly and strong, discuss it and tell people, no, I have a right. If I'm paying you, you shouldn't subject me to sitting on kameme. You know, you shouldn't drive me the way you so wish to drive me. I have a right to report you, and action will be taken. And action is being taken.
There are also people who you go to a border person because time has left you. You tell them, make it fly.
I know. That I know for sure. Now, what do you expect? He will fly definitely. So it goes back like what I said, plan your journeys well.
All right.
Because if you plan well, there are high chances that you will reach where you're going when you're settled. But flying you like they are carrying a commodity, there are high chances that that deal you're rushing to chase, you will not see it.
Oh, yeah.
Because we need money. All this leads actually to money, you know, to enjoyment with the families. But you can only enjoy if you're alive.
Oh, yes.
And if you're allowed to be rushed, to be taken like any commodity, then that joy that you're longing for to meet people at home may not come to pass. But that's not what we wish. Right. And we are here to tell you that in this season, as we are all happy, as we are all celebrating, let's watch out for this few things. There are always few things that you need to do right, and you get safely to where you're going, and you enjoy with your family, or even that money you're chasing, you get that deal and it goes through, and you enjoy that money when you have life.
Oh, wow. Yes, Sarah is still taking us through this discussion, majorly knowing about our safety in regards to this kind of festivities we are heading to, the Easter seasons, and of course how safe we are to be, and of course those people majorly who want to travel for these celebrations, what the biggest takeaway I've gotten so far is plan your journeys very well. Well, we're going in for a very short break and then return with more.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Yes, Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe is still gearing us up. Welcome back. It is still Issues at Hand, and we are looking at improving road safety ahead of the Easter festivities that we are soon going into, actually this week. Now, Sarah is still here discussing with us what road safety is about, what we should do, what should be done, things like that, yeah. But now, there is a concern always on the roads there when we are moving, and what if you happen to knock a road sign sort of, or something like that. Actually, I got to know that they are called road furniture. So sorry, Sarah, what happens when someone knocks any of the road's furniture there?
Yeah, thank you so much. Generally we call them road furniture. This all assets, all signs. If you've seen the guardrails, you've seen some bridges, you've seen. We categorize it as road furniture. So whatever package that come with a road is called a road furniture. So what happens? Unfortunately, if you knock it, or if you destroyed it. Now, initially, this was silent, and the individuals could destroy it, could knock them, and get away with it, But that left us to praying that you destroy a road furniture that has just been constructed, and we know how our government work, or how budget is released. If they have finished a new road and they know they have finished it surely, then the little remaining resource goes elsewhere, But now if an individual comes and knocks it, now the law that is there empowers the authority to work with Uganda Police Force and make sure that you do good to that damage. What do I mean doing good to that damage? I'm meaning if you've through the act of a crash or accident, God forbid, and don't say maybe we are too harsh to people or to motorists, that we understand accidents are not avoidable, by the way, but crashes are avoidable. And that's why in our discussions now you hear less of accidents, but we are calling them crashes. Why? Because most of them, when you evaluate, they can be avoidable. You can avoid them by doing the right thing. But if you're doing the wrong thing, we are telling you that drive at 100 kilometers per hour for the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway. And for you're in 180 kilometers per hour. And while there, you happen to knock the street light that recently we installed. What will happen? We will hold you accountable, and you will pay for it. We pray to God that for you're safe, and hence that's how we will be able to recover that sign. So if you of course, if God forbid, if you die, the case remains there, but it becomes a hard case to pursue. But as long as you're still alive, we have synergies now between UNRA, Uganda Police Force, and other entities that are in this. They quickly inform us that there was an accident here and it knocked guardrails, and we shall send in the technical engineers to go and measure the estimate, to give us the estimate of what you've damaged. If it is a sign, how much is a sign going out for? And this amount that we keep telling you, we have a baseline. We don't just sit in office and say this one, let's charge him this. No, we have a baseline. We know that a sign bare minimum will cost this, and we come actually for the minimum. We don't always go for maximum. So we will pursue you and tell you that we need our sign back. We need what you've damaged back. We give you options that, one, you can get your own contractor. We don't want to get involved in this. But we have our pre-qualified service providers countrywide. So in case you don't know anyone off head, because we give you that We give you that chance first. We don't want you to start thinking that we are conniving or we are taking money from you. If you know any contractor and he's a genuine contractor, we will allow you. Take that person on site where you knocked. Let him assess and arrange with him and pay him to do what you've damaged. If you don't know anyone, we give you a list of all pre-qualified service providers. Choose any of your choice. We don't dictate. Choose one of your choice. Deal with him at your own cost. Pay him. He repairs what you've damaged. All we need is when all that is happening, UNRA will be supervising, because we cannot just leave it in your hands. We need you to bring back what you damaged in a standard form. You know, you can bring something that is not to the standard, but UNRA, it supervises and tells you, yeah, this one meets our specs, this one doesn't, and you work with them. Once you replace what you've damaged, then we call off the case from you, and you're set free. But if you knock and run away, we will still chase you. Because if we happen to know the vehicle, trust me, we will get you. Why are we doing this? Why are we being hard to Ugandans and other road users? We are not being hard. We are just being, we are being just, you know, so that all of us feel responsible. Because this money that built this road was my tax, mine and yours and any other person viewing there. So if now the so-called X comes, he's drunk, and he rams into a section of guardrails and destroys them, and then we let him go, the burden will come back to me and you, who are always careful in decisions we are making, and that burden will again come back to us, that look for money, pay tax, so that we go back and damage what the ex-person damaged out of his recklessness action, out of he was drunk, he was on drugs, you know, out of he didn't plan his journey where he was rushing, and hence he was in excessive speed, and he knocked that. So we are being just.
So are you intentional in selecting who is supposed to pay?
No.
Because so long as you knock.
As long as you knock. Okay, at times some people still have a chance. They knock and get away with it, you know. We don't get you there. But should we land, and we're not, we've employed more people there to be vigilant. But most important, we have worked with Uganda Police Force, because Uganda Police Force is distributed properly more than UNRA. And because they love the country, you know, they will pursue and say, look, you've damaged this. And it is an individual decision that you've done. And you did it because you did a wrong overtaking. You overtook at a wrong point, like what I was saying. So if you've damaged it, they will tell you, go work with UNRA and replace what you've damaged. It's when they will release that case from you. It is only Uganda National Roads Authority with that mandate of dealing with you. Now, there are instances where you find people are conniving. You know, he has knocked, and before you know it, you hear someone was asking for money to let the person free. Please, don't engage in that activity. Because you will engage, and at the end of the day, I'm telling you, your car will not be released. And finally, you'll come back to us. And you've already spent money somewhere thinking you will be set free, you know, by bribing. If there is anyone asking money from you, that is going to help you get this vehicle out of police, then it is a wrong decision to do. Don't pay any money. UNRA, we don't take people's money. We are not interested in your money. If you don't want to replace, to get a contractor and replace, we will give you our assessment, damage assessment. It will show you how much you damaged. The pictures will be attached. It will show you how much we cost it, how much is this damage. And if you say me, I have limited time, I've seen this with our international business partners, you know, the lorries that are moving Kenya, Nairobi, you know how they move. So those ones say, we don't have enough time to spend in your country to sort out this issue. Which other method can I use that is quicker? We don't want to frustrate people more. So the other option, but which is our least option, is we tell you, pay the amount of money that Uganda National Roads Authority gave you to the government of Uganda Consolidated Fund, not Uganda National Roads Authority Fund. We don't collect money. We don't collect money from anyone. So we guide you through Uganda Revenue Authority, URA. You go register. It will take you through. It has those provisions, and you will get that payment receipt. Go to the bank, pay that money. Bring back your certificate, your payment proof that I've paid the money that was assessed, and then we subject it to the URA. If we find it is true, then we release the car. We work with police and tell them guy has cleared. That money goes back to the government account, government consolidated fund account. It's by the way may not even come back to UNRA, but it is okay. We are serving the same government. So those are the only two options. Either you bring a contractor, he replaces what you've damaged at your own cost, while UNRA is supervising. Two is you pay the amount of money that UNRA has assessed to the consolidated account of the government of Uganda, not any UNRA account. UNRA does not collect money on behalf of the government. It's URA that collects money on behalf of government. And hence, if you want to pay, we will tell you, go to URA portal, follow the procedures, pay to the government, we will release your car. I hope that is clear.
Oh, that is very clear. What
Thank
an
you.
insightful discussion it is indeed. Maybe our time is actually done. I wish you could give us your last remarks.
Thank you so much. To the Family TV, I'm always humble, very humble to the management. And I think it was a birthday of our MD.
Yesterday,
happy belated birthday, our friend. We like you, we love you with your staff, because he's always there for a cause. He always calls people to discuss matters that really influence human beings while on earth, but also in heaven. My last word to you as we go to celebrate Easter, I wish you a good Easter celebrations, but keep safe. Last one I want to do, people who are intending to drive, please make sure that you have what we call a hazard sign in your car. This triangle, you must be knowing it. Next time I'll come with it, we project it to them. So that, like I said, it's a machine. You don't know when it's going to stop. In case it stops, put that reflective, actually there should be two. Put that reflective triangle sign to warn people that there is a problem. We've seen accidents resulting into those stationary vehicles that get, impound, that get accidents. So please have that, buy two, put them in your car. You don't know when your car will fail. Should it fail, they will come in handy.
How about leaves?
Yes, that's a natural method. I like that. That is a natural method. Just in case you find yourself that you don't have any, put a mechanism. Go and get those leaves and warn people on both approaches to warn them that there is a problem ahead, and hence they should look out and reduce speed. By doing that, we hope we will be conscious road users, and I wish everyone a happy Easter and a good life for the remaining years of our life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I cannot add much from what she has said. Of course, we all want to wish you a lovely week ahead, and of course, a lovely Easter celebration as we head to this particular period of reflecting on Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Well, my name is Luke Majumba Naitwe, and I want to wish you a lovely day.
Issues at Hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott